Alrighty, so let's talk about the games we played this week. Austin.
Yep.
There's a new game that came out.
Yes, there is.
Avalanche Studios and id Software have released a joint endeavor known as Rage 2. It is said to be one of the next great first-person shooters, potentially. And it's got colors, and it's supposed to be better than Rage 1.
There are lots of colors.
How do you feel about this game? How much have you played first? I want to know that. Let's lay it down the line.
I didn't even check. I could check real quick.
Wait, are you playing it on? Is this one of those the Epic Game Store? Okay, it is on Steam. Okay, good.
I know.
Yeah,
I was gonna make sure.
Timeline.
Well, I was gonna get it for Bethesda.
Oh, for the Bethesda
game
launcher? Yeah, don't do that.
But then I saw that it was gonna be on Steam. I was like, oh fuck yeah, I would get it on Steam.
Yeah, the freaking Bethesda launcher is garbage.
It is
oh
the
my
worst
gosh,
piece of
it's so
trash
bad.
you've ever seen.
So bad, but you have to use it for Bethesda games.
I know. But at least it's just for Bethesda games.
It's just for Fallout 76.
Yeah, it's just for all the games I don't play right now.
Exactly.
So I'm okay with that.
Totally fine.
So my Steam account says I have 11.2 hours on record.
You basically almost beat it.
I guess.
Apparently it's like 15,
I guess.
maybe 20 hours in the game. If you like hardline it straight through.
Yeah, that's true. Well, let me get like the easy stuff out of the way before we like dive into this. So the graphics look amazing. The atmosphere looks amazing. The weather system, the lighting, like it all is great. Like walking around, every part of this world that you stop and look out into, you can see in the distance, and it looks phenomenal. I'm like, fuck, this is what Skyrim needs. The next Elder Scrolls game needs to look like. This is what Starfall needs to be. Like, have this engine. You already have studios that have stuff like this. Just use it. How hard is it to use it? Come on. Anyway, now that's out of the way. Yeah, that's good. The story, or the gameplay is awesome. You know, running around, hitting people with the powers and slamming down because they have a jump slam that you can. I just unlocked the ability to have a gravitational pull. So when you jump up, it has that like delayed where you're like charging your punch back, and you can see this little thing on the ground. It like brings all these enemies together, and when you slam them down, they all explode in the guts. You only have a few guns, but they're enough to get the job done. I seem to always be using the machine gun or the assault rifle, and you know, it's pretty standard, pretty good accuracy and stuff like that. And they have a pistol, a shotgun, a pistol like flame launcher, which shoots a little like flaming dart at somebody, and then you can trigger it to explode. You have a dash ability, you have a dodge ability, you have the overdrive is really cool. It makes all your weapons super powerful, and like everybody explodes that hits on them.
That's like the ultimate move, basically.
Oh yeah.
Right?
So I mean, it really is Mad Max meets Doom in the way that the gunplay is Doom based, and then the world and the driving is Mad Max based, which is Avalanche Studios meets id Software. So I mean, it's a good combination. But there are some things that are wrong with this, and I really wanted to like this game. And I think the trailers oversold it a little bit because it looks like a lot of fun, right? Like the giant open world, bunch of enemies around. You have all these superpowers, so it's going to be like almost endless amounts of fun, continuous fun. But for me, it wasn't like that at all. Like you have these little points of interest that you go to. And there's a lot of the, hey, look, here's a bandit cap. Hey, look, here's a place that you need to unlock a gate so you can get into this next area, kill all these people. And it's the same enemies over and over again, and it gets pretty repetitive. Again, the powers make it fun, and going to get these powers are interesting because you go to like these little drop pods that are everywhere that have your new abilities that you I guess inject into you, and you go into some like virtual reality space to train to learn how to use them, which is
really
interesting. Yeah. And so I mean, when it comes to gameplay and stuff, it's fun when you're there, but it's not fun when there's all this downtime, there's all this driving around, which you can relate it to Red Dead Redemption, where you can put yourself in cinematic mode, but you're running for like 5 to 10 minutes, and it's like, okay, it's for Red Dead, it was cool because there's so much to see, and the way that the camera moves, it's cinematic, so you can sit there and be like, oh, this looks, really cool. But it gets boring after a while. It's like, shit, I just want to continue the fun. Like, get me to the next point.
Is there anything to stop and do in the world other than those few like side quests that are there? Like, is there anything to like discover? Like, have you discovered anything by like stopping off the beaten path and like doing a little bit of digging, or no?
There's other stuff like other than the bandit camps, they have these like I don't even know what to really call it. It's like it's a hole in the ground, and in the hole in the ground, you traverse the little maze that they have, kill a bunch of enemies. At the end, there's like a boss enemy that you can kill, and that gives you some items, some special items for upgrading your stats at a vendor. And those are cool and interesting. It's a giant beast, right? So it's like he's at least 5 times bigger than you, if not 6 times bigger.
Yeah.
And he's just, he's hard and stuff, but with all your abilities that you get over time, it gets easier and easier. So, I mean, it's fun, right? It's fun when you're there. It's just you have to drive to all these places, and I feel like it takes away from the pacing and stuff. Like, there's nothing wrong with driving, but you got to make it more meaningful. And I feel like the story is convoluted too, which makes it even worse because it's like, hey, you're this guy. Like, I think the story starts off, like a typical, I almost want to call it Deadpool story, when it's like you're the the kind of funny, lighthearted comedian guy, and you're running around, you're killing a bunch of stuff, just like Deadpool does. And then, this guy that you admire dies, and you get a suit, and that's how you become this ranger. And you know what your name is?
What?
Ranger Walker. Walker, Texas Ranger. I was like, if they thought of that,
if there was some inspiration.
I know.
That's got to be based off of that.
That's pretty clever. And so, like, you get to know the big baddie and the enemy forces that are like the biggest threat in the world, and it's called the Authority. So I don't remember the first one too much, and it seems like he's a returning character. And it's just like, okay, this is kind of a wacky Deadpool type thing. So like, I'll go with it. Like, there's nothing that bad about it. But as you traverse the world, like, they really aren't that powerful. Everything. I mean, I'm playing on normal, so I guess that's like, okay, it's not that hard, right? But I assume they would be like a more of a threat. And they really aren't. I mean, they kind of can be a threat if they gang up on you because they have a bunch of forces, right? But when they come into, missions and stuff like that, depending on the mission, the forces are just like, okay, I kill you, and then special abilities make it even easier, and it's just like, okay, this is getting a little repetitive. They're just like here to be like, hey, look, guys, we're here, we're the threat, and we're around and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, oh, all right, boom, you're dead. Moving on to the next mission, and then again, the story is convoluted because I keep going to all these places. And I'm just like, I don't really understand what's going on. Minus, okay, the Authority killed this person you looked up to, and now you're trying to get revenge to some degree. And there's all these people who are part of this coalition, almost like the UN of this area. And they're like, hey, let's kill this guy. I'm like, all right, cool.
All right.
It's not very exciting.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I've been hearing across the board. Like, for example, I was Game Informer gave it a 7 out of 10. That was their review for it. And they said it's a fine shooter. The gunplay is great, which it's software. It should be. But they said the world is flat. And then from my understanding, everybody I've listened to has said that after the first 3 hours, you've basically played the whole game. And it's just rinse and repeat, and it's just another same type of enemy that you've already fought a billion times, and you try to add some diversity to it. There's only so much you can do, and it sucks because it's a 15-hour game, I think, 15, 20-hour game. So if you get tired of it after 3 hours, ish, like the honeymoon phase wears off, and then it's just like, yeah, exploring the world is cool, but for a little bit. But if there's nothing in the world to explore, I mean, that's the problem with all these open worlds.
I mean, they tell you where to explore by putting the points of interest on the map. So it's like, okay, I know what this is over here. This is a beast pit. I'm going to go in there and kill the big baddie.
So everything between point A and point B is just like it's visual filler. Yeah.
Again, it looks great. Like, you stop on the side of the road.
Size wise, how do you think this world, like what game do you think most closely relates to the size of this world? Like another open world game. Can you think of anything that's like, okay, this is roughly about that size?
Maybe Mad Max.
Yeah.
I know you didn't play that game,
Yeah.
but
I was like,
mean,
well,
for those who
damn.
did, like it's
Yeah.
kind of like Mad Max. I feel like I want to say it's hard to compare because you get around the map so fast. It seems small,
Yeah.
you know, but then when you look at it, it seems pretty big. So I can't really put my finger on it.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like the size of Horizon Zero Dawn, right?
Maybe.
Really?
I don't remember now. Horizon Zero Dawn's map.
That's a pretty big map.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, this is a big map,
yeah.
but it's
But you're
small.
in a vehicle too.
Yeah.
So like that's
and you
a
have
big
a
difference.
boost on your vehicle, so
Okay.
you get around pretty quick.
Okay.
Now, if you have to walk it, yeah, that sucks. But I think that's the point. I think that's why this world feels empty, is because you have this vehicle that's super fast and you can easily get from point A to point B, and there's nothing really in between. You have some vehicles that are just scattered throughout the roadside, and you have a few like battles happening, but it's all for show. There's nothing interesting about it. Like,
Oh, that is a pretty big map.
You'll run around, like you'll be flying down, and there'll be like the Raiders. I'm just gonna call them the Raiders. I don't know what they call them. And then you have the mutants or the authority guys who are battling it out. There's like 5-on-5, and you just zoom by them. It's like, oh, cool. Why are they there? Or you are just like, hey, look, a battle, and I just zoom right through them and kill 5 of them.
Is there really a town called Lagoony Town?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And there's different biomes in this area. So you have like you have the swamplands, you have the wetlands, and then you have the desert, and it's all, they're all different. They all have their own different enemies, but I mean, they all act the same for the most part.
It's not like you're going into an area. It's not like when you're playing Destiny and you're going to different planets and you have like the Vex versus what's the ones on Earth?
Shit.
Yeah, but they're like
Covenant.
zombie creatures, and then you have the Vex are like, you shoot them in the middle, and then you got slightly different gameplay mechanics
exactly.
to approach these different enemies.
Yeah, I mean, some of them do that with the variations of them. Like some, like in the Raiders, so they carry shields.
Yeah.
So some of the heavy units, they carry shields. So you can't get past the shield, right? You have to find your way around it. But I mean, with the powers you get and stuff like that, you can get a little creative with it. But they don't have those enough, and they're a little annoying too. And I mean, there's some interesting enemies that come at you, but it's just not enough of them.
So you said the story's not really that exciting. So I mean, do you think you'll finish it?
I don't know. I was thinking about it, but at this point, I'm just like, eh.
I've heard the ending's not any better than the other one.
I mean, I'm sure it's
which is
not.
really sad to say, because they even made a
not.
joke about that in the launch trailer, which is a damn good launch trailer, by the way. That was really, really cool, and it got me really hyped about it. But it's sad to know that the game still doesn't deliver.
I mean, this could have been a Wolfenstein setup
kind of game, yeah.
Game where the story is the focus. You have your little hub area, and then you just go into these missions here and there. It didn't need the open world. Like, I don't know why they have this in here. There's really no point for it.
Yeah.
I mean, if all you do is just drive around from place to place, it's not interesting. And it's just some of the sides. So getting into like how you upgrade and stuff, when you go to these cities, which have a main character in it, and there are 4 of them. Is there 4? There's 3. There's 3 of them. You can do certain points of interest for each of those. So like one of them is, I forget her name, but she has an orange color, so she has orange icons on the map.
Uh-huh.
If you go to her icons and complete those side missions, you get points to upgrade her. So within that, you go into the menus and you go to her, and they call them projects, and you get project points, and you can upgrade certain abilities dedicated to her, which she's like search and destroy, right? And so each of them have like, one guy is like a tech guy, so he allows you to find things easier around the world. So you can find these crates that have either money or nanotrites, which help you upgrade your guns and your abilities. And then the other guy, I forgot, he's more of just like, helps you upgrade with your weapon damage and stuff like that. So like, they give you reason to go to these points of interest and complete these areas. And so that's cool. Like, you can get pretty deep into like how you customize stuff. And then the guns have a whole customization thing, and the abilities have a whole customization thing. And it's just like, dang, like I really like the customization. Because like the abilities, you level them up, but then on top of that, you have like ability points that you can use to do better, like to make that better. Like for my my jump slam, like first it would just jump slam. I can do more and more damage. I can spread out the AOE effect. But now that I've unlocked this ability, I can create that gravitational pull, so everyone in a certain radius pulls into my center of where I'm going to slam. So it just does that much more damage.
Question.
Yes.
2 questions actually.
Okay.
All in the same kind of scenario.
All right.
If they had kind of focused in on this campaign, toned it down a little bit, made it say like 8 to 10 hours long, smaller world, but same kind of setup, smaller world, and then took that extra time and effort that they put into that and made a multiplayer using this gameplay that's like basically an arena shooter kind of thing, do you think you would enjoy this game better?
I don't know. I mean, I think I would enjoy the main campaign better.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would enjoy
with the gunplay and the ability upgrades and stuff like that. Would that be intriguing in a multiplayer setting?
It could. I mean, I can see that being kind of like Destiny gameplay in a way, and I really like that gameplay.
Or what about, then the other question is, what if this is the same world, same game, but cooperative?
That would be better.
Yeah.
That would be a lot better.
Yeah.
I was actually hoping it was. Like, did I miss something? Like, maybe this is for co-op, because it'd be great to have a friend in here.
Yeah.
But they don't, at the same time, I don't think they have enough enemies per location to actually have enough fun with your abilities.
Well, that could be something that they could just up the ante for.
It's very sparse.
Yeah.
Like, you go to an area, there's like maybe 15 people there.
Really?
I mean, for me, like I just kind of go in a circle. So I just kill a bunch, kill him there, go around the corner, kill you there, jump over something, kill you, run up. Like, because a lot of your abilities are like pretty awesome, and it'd be nice to see a bunch of guys run up to you because you have this force push, right?
Yeah.
And so I've upgraded to have like 150 damage, and it like has a bigger radius. And so I never have people group up enough to be like, kill 10 people, one force push. That was awesome,
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess overall, there's a lot of potential here, but I don't think they executed very well.
Gotcha.
So there's that.
Well, awesome. That's kind of disappointing, but it is what it is. I guess we'll just have to live with it as it is. But
I mean, I usually put 20 hours to the game that I like, and then most of the time I call it quits, even though it's really fun.
Yeah.
Like Red Dead. I definitely put 20 hours into that. I probably put 30 hours, and I still wasn't finished. I was like, you know what? I'm tired of this game, which is sad.
Yeah.
So I might try to keep going and see where I can get. Actually, I got to a bug where I can't complete a quest now.
Oh, no.
And it's a main quest. So I was going around doing other people's quests, and I was like, okay, fuck all this. So that might put a halt on my progress. So.
Well, that sucks.
There is that.